Hey guys, welcome to episode 1, season 2 of Friends with Benefits. Today my guest is Sam. And before I even introduce her really, let me just remind you guys, if you don't know what this is a series where I interview different friends, new and old alike, that just have really interesting stories to tell where I can learn more from them, and so I know you guys can learn more from them. We'll just get right to it. Sam, most people here probably know you, but do you want to tell them a little bit about yourself or how we know each other?
Sure. So I'm Samantha Melgar, Sam Bam. Drea and I know each other from working back in the day at an Italian restaurant called Russo's. We didn't just work there, we were like the opening crew of like on Valentine's Day, the busiest day of the year.
Oh geez.
Like first kind of jobs, like learning to like navigate feelings and growing up and leaving high school and coming into the real world. So that was a really fun, cool time because we've seen so many versions of ourselves now to where we were back then.
That's so true.
Sometimes we don't have the time to sit back and reflect. Like even from afar, like we're always pendiente de cada una. Mm-hmm. Like I've seen, like the fun party time you, the camping you, the more spiritual you, the community you, the relationship you, the daughter, the best friend. It's been really cool.
Oh, you're so fun.
To see each other from back then,
Yeah. That's so true. I never thought about that. How old were you when you started there?
I was 18.
So I must have been 18, 19 when I started.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man, that's a long time knowing each other.
Like, and to look back and like the different things that have happened in both of our lives, like
Yes.
the ups, the downs, the learning the way, the connecting with a friend, the isolating, the self-exploration,
Yeah.
the entrepreneur side, so much.
If you can't tell already, this girl's very insightful, so I'm very excited about this interview.
Yep, it gets deep.
Yeah, we're going to hit a lot of different areas of life, so we'll try to be concise, but at the same time, we are going to be going deep into different areas. What was it like growing up in entrepreneurship?
Okay, like my kid side, right? Like as this
Yeah,
was my
sure,
parents.
yeah.
I always remembered like my parents had their business and like it took away a lot of our time from them, but they were there. Mm-hmm. And to see like my friends, like most of their parents is like they clocked in, they clocked out, like there wasn't like this big like passion for life. It was kind of like mundane and not every day, but like yeah, oh, my boss this and this, that, and the coffee at work, no sé qué, no sé cuánto. But like with my parents, it was like, yes, they were gone more, but like I would hear back like, like these people didn't have money to get milk for their kids.
Oh,
and
wow.
like, they don't even know how they're paying rent this month, but like I gave it to them. I know they're good people. Like I know that once they get their paycheck, they'll come and pay that.
Wow.
Or like, oh, like this, you're all the way over there.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Excuse me, can we get her drink?
My on-set secretary, please.
It was like hearing that like two young kids like just came from another country and they were at the border for so long and they didn't have a way to communicate with their mom back home, but like they came to my parents' store and my parents showed them how to buy a phone card and dial the number to call another country.
Gosh.
To call we call it la pulperia, mm-hmm. like the little tiendita del barrio, to call there so they can run and hey, tell Maria her son is on the phone.
Wow.
Like that now I can literally just call my mom like this and a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Having them right there.
Bro, you grew up watching your parents do God's work.
And it was so deep because on the other sense, they saw the sacrifice away from us, like to give us a better foundation, a better future for, I think that they really only thought about like us, but like now we can think about like us, this generation and the ones to come. Mm-hmm. Because like if they did so much and they just did like for like in survival, number one, because like they had to figure it all out. Two, like having that goal, like my family and their foundation, I'm going to give them a better future than I had. Versus now we can do that and way more.
I'm sorry, are you first generation? Like, did they come here from
They
Honduras?
came first, yeah.
Okay.
And then I was the first one born here.
Okay. Wow. So yeah, they were figuring that out from scratch.
Not knowing the language, not knowing how to drive, not knowing if Broward or Miami-Dade or if Fort Lauderdale versus Davie, which city was good or bad.
Yeah.
You know, it was a lot. So because they were doing that sacrifice, my grandmother came over and she was the one raising us. So they would go to work and she would be taking care of us. Who better would you think than your mother to raise your kids, right? Like,
Yeah.
who better? Everybody has their own trauma and their own shit. So my grandmother raised us. So she started talking to us bad about my parents.
Oh wow.
And
while she was raising you and your
Yep.
sisters.
And we were little. So one day I like come home from school and my grandmother's talking bad to me about my mom. And she didn't know English. And me and my mom, like, we're like the same and we're different. So like we butted heads really bad, like during those teenage years, bad. But I still knew what was right and what was wrong, what was true, what was a lie. Like, whatever, I'm mad at you, you're my mom, but like I love you, you're my mom. Like,
Yeah, of course.
so I like called my mom and I pretended it was a class. And I was like, abuela, dame un segundito que tengo que llamar a mi amiguita que se me olvidó algo de una tarea. Espérame. Hey girl, how are you? What's up, Ashley? Yeah. So listen, put your phone on mute right now and just listen to this, okay? Don't like burn me. All right? Put it right now on that.
And that
Okay,
was to your
girl.
mom.
See you tomorrow. And I put it down. And my grandma's going and going and going. I'm like, fuck, like this is the only way. Like, me repeat to you, know, just said this.
That's smart as hell of you.
I must have been an FBI agent in another life. I tell you, like, and a spy. Like, I'm curious to find out about all my past lives.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
yeah. So think about this already. Like, I'm the more brave one and the more talkative one. And like, it took this many years for me to like say something. Imagine how long my sister had it
Yeah.
without knowing, because no tenía esa, qué sé yo, malicia or chispa to like, hello, this is not right. Something's
Yeah.
wrong because this is my grandmother. I love you. You love me. You love my mom. Like, this can't be wrong.
Yeah.
Fast forward, like, it's created some problems in our family. Like, my sister's not able to. She would tell my sister, like, they don't love you. They love money. That's why I'm here with you, because they don't care about you. All they care about is being there. So, like, a small kid.
Yeah, no,
to
that
hear that
she's
every
literally
day?
she becomes her inner voice is what happens, and then it's like you need a lot of help. Not just your sister, everyone needs help to reprogram whatever they false programming they got as a kid, and it's like it's just so unfortunate that that came from family, you know.
Who literally raised her, changed her diapers. Like,
Yeah.
that's like more maternal feeling
Wow.
than was my mother for her.
Yeah.
That story continues on, and that's another chapter. But it's like there's sacrifices that come with being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
The time away from your family, the long nights, the early mornings, the not being able to go to those holiday parties. Every festivity, like, we're still open because it's like a necessity.
Of course. Yeah.
You know, like, it's not like, I get to sleep in for winter vacation.
Yeah.
Disconnect and spend time with my loved ones and like deeper level than just how was your day? How's your day? Here's your dinner. Good night. Like, those deeper conversations don't come from survival.
Right.
They don't come from running your own business.
Yeah, things tend to stay like on the superficial, which is incredible though that you, from a young age, I mean, obviously a lot has happened from then till now, but I feel like from a young age, it sounds like you were able to tell yourself the right story that would still serve as inspiration versus like you could have lived that same life and seen it in a different lens where you're like, poor me, woe is me, like I didn't get enough attention, I didn't get enough this. And then you just end up putting yourself like in a, oh, I'll never be successful because I didn't have XYZ, you know? Like, it can just flip-flop either way. And thank God you had, like you said, una chispa to, like, see it the way that would really benefit you. And, like, you still have gratitude for it, you know? You still see how much they worked and you have that instilled in you right now, you know? And it's brought a lot of success to you, I feel like, and where you're at now, which is it's just not easy, especially at your age, I feel like, at our age.
100%. I saw the struggle, and again, there's beauty in it because like you had two options. You made it work for you.
Yeah.
You can either cry about it or make it help you somehow. They chose to do the same, and so I see it that way. Then I see like what did work, like why people are so attracted to like my parents, and then they're like, oh, of course you're their daughter. Like, because of that energy, which is like being personal, not only looking for the next dollar, not only seeing this as a transaction. Like, oh, you bought a soup for me? Okay. And then I see you have 2 little kids. Do you want 2 soups? 2 spoons, I mean, and like 2 little bowls so you can share with them? Like, not just, oh, you want more spoons? You only bought 1 soup.
Right. Big difference.
She's always going to come back here. If it was the other way, like, bro, like, you don't fucking know that I have $5 more to my name and I'm trying to figure out, like, how to make ends meet. And you want to throw it in my face.
Yeah,
that I'm splitting this with my kids, you know? So that touch, that compassion, that genuine interest to help is what really separates me and them, and has worked. And people feel connected, and they love feeling welcome.
Yeah.
And it's not always like that. Like, I get annoyed sometimes too. Don't think I wish it was all.
I get you, but you know what I'm thinking about? Why I'm laughing a little bit? Because when we worked at Russo's, I feel like, I forget who said it. I think it was a customer, but they're like, wow, Samantha always, it might have been like a comment card where like a guest can like write something about their experience. And they wrote about your smile, that you're always smiling. And you're so good at that. Like, you're really good at like smiling. I don't know if you always mean that smile genuinely or not, but like, it's amazing.
It's powerful. Like, your smile is powerful. Your words are powerful. Eye contact is powerful. And like, your outer reality is your inner reality. Like, I'm glad that's what people feel, because like, that's what I feel inside. Like, even if I'm going through something tough, even if I'm scared, I'm like happy and excited, but it's this like knowing that I'll get through it.
Yeah, like your light is always stronger than the dark. Ooh, girl. Okay, the next question, which isn't really a question, it's just asking you to tell us more about your experience owning your own business now.
It's been a learning process. I obviously have experience from like all the other places that I worked at, Russo's, Smashburger, Chase Bank, El Paladar, the Paisano supermarket, Chinese restaurants.
A lot of customer service.
Always customer service. This place, I was like running it for them. I set it up because it was my parents, and they had a partner called Michelle. They opened it up. I ran it for them, just like I did at the supermarket that they have out west. It was me and my uncle opening up that place by ourselves, like putting item by item. So
your parents have as a supermarket?
Yeah.
And then the new one that was opening up is also considered a supermarket? Or?
No, just a to-go Latin cafeteria.
Okay.
Mine.
/ convenience store, or not so much?
Very mini. So it's like convenience stores, like maybe you'll find Tylenol, chips.
Okay.
And at the beginning, like, okay, my whole heart was there, setting it up, putting the place together. There was different things, like I would want to put something bright and colorful. They didn't agree with it. Okay, let's do a menu like this. That's not really important. Let's try food like this. We'll just stick to the basics. This is what works. And I'd be like I wanted to let my creativity out, but like they would dim it down. And like I felt like, one, it was my age and that I was their daughter. And 2, I was like, this is my light. This is what I see. This is what I want. But you don't have to like shut it down that way. This constant battle of like doing my best and then them bringing me down. So it kind of brought like a weird feeling. Like I wasn't as happy to go to work anymore. I wasn't as enthusiastic about doing new projects and new
perhaps items. A little burnt out, you know?
Yes. And I felt like I was unappreciated. The owner at the time, like she liked to pay attention to other things that weren't as important as like your bread and butter, your everyday worker that's here 6 days a week. So I was gonna leave and I was gonna open up something else. And again, your energy and your positivity, right? So when that happened, she was like, look, how about I sell this to you? And I'm sitting there like, how am I gonna get the money for this? You know, like we're not talking about like a little kiosk somewhere, you know, like
it's a whole storefront, no?
Yes, it's a whole entire storefront. And like over the years, I've been there now 6 years. We're kind of like at almost making $4 million a year. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's always been so weird. Like I just know to do the right thing, but I don't really like take a step back to like look at what it is I'm doing. Like I just like go with my gut, I go with my instinct, I
Yeah.
go with what I feel is right. But like I don't sit there and process like this is a big step. Like not a lot of people are doing this. Like this could be scary for some. Like I just think it's normal.
Yeah.
So whatever, we negotiated it, da 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 da, and I'm like 9 months away from paying it off.
Wow. Cheers to that. My matcha and your sangria.
Yeah, bro, like 9 months away from paying it off. Like
That's
I
a
went
huge
in
deal.
every day, happily, trying to improve, trying to connect, trying to shut down my ego, trying to connect with my people more, trying to develop more my relationship skills when it comes to like managing and just people in general.
So
Trying to think.
how long ago was that you initially made that like negotiation and made it yours?
February 2022. Mind you, 1 month after the biggest, hardest breakup of my life, the most scary moment ever, when literally my reality was like coming to a fucking end. Had bought a house, had remodeled it, thought I was gonna marry this person, had my 3 dogs. Like, I thought I was setting all my foundations right.
Yeah.
That goes to shit, sadly. I make the negotiation, and then they say God removes all the snakes around you before you level up. 4 of my employees quit on me. Just
At
because,
the same time?
at the same time, just because, like, I now was the owner. We were all friends when I wasn't.
Wow. So everything was happening at the same time.
All at once, bro. All at once. Like, all at once.
Okay, so I mean, we're going to keep talking about it, but I just want to emphasize that we've talked a lot about what entrepreneurship and business and family has done for you in like getting to know yourself, but we're going to talk about what else in life, like this relationship, like this breakup, has done for you in terms of getting to know yourself. So we left off, you were going to get into, aside from business and family life, what else in life has taught you a lot about yourself recently?
Yeah, so choosing to walk away from that relationship was the worst and best thing I ever did in my life.
How many years were you in that relationship?
6 years. I was like 22 when I was with him. So like from 22 to 27-ish, like a lot changes. Like you get out of high school, you have a boyfriend, whatever. Then like if you're the type of woman that I was, like you want something more foundational. You want to build a base. You want to build a home. So then you can like pursue business and then pursue vacation. You know, like
Yeah,
I
family,
wanted
like
to
start
do
your
every-
family.
Yes. So many different things happened that it was just like, this is not the one, Samantha. Like, I don't know how many times I'm going to need to show you this, but like, you're in danger now at this point. Like, if you don't choose yourself, because this man has proven that he cannot emotionally regulate, that he is a narcissist, that he tried to use fear to like make me stay, that he physically harmed me by not being able to control his emotions. So like, I didn't want to be another statistic. I didn't want to be another number.
Yeah.
Because like, this is where I was telling you that like, I don't hate anybody anymore, or like, he was dealing with so much of his demons that he didn't want to deal with, that it was pouring over onto me. And like, maybe I was the one that was supposed to heal him or show him what real love was, or what when somebody loves you, gives you another chance. Like, that was my lesson to you, and you just kept handling it like it was always going to be there. And then because I give so much, because I bring so much, that can bring jealousy, inferiority, and I feel like an addiction, but like not in a good way. Like, she takes care of my family needs, my sexual needs, my home needs, we're leveling up in life. Like, I'm not loving you right, but like, I don't want somebody else to have you.
Right, because
So,
it's
like,
an unhealthy like obsession almost, that like he's got everything he needs.
yeah, and it's not from like, I'm so blessed to have you in my life, and like I want to create like a heaven on earth for you, and I want you to feel comfortable, like, because I feel like he was operating from a place of lack too. Like, look, he's He was gorgeous. Like, to me, the ideal, like, that was my ideal physical. I wanted nothing but the best from him and for him, with him, for us, everything. But, like, that bodybuilding physique, like, that can come from confidence. But I feel like most of the time, because people are not evolved, it comes from lack and, like, just being the top alpha dog instead of being like, I'm determined, I'm disciplined, I want to fuel my body right. Like, I want to fuel my body right. I want to be the strongest I can be. I want to be around for my kids. I want to be healthy. I want to travel. More, it's like, I'm the papi chulo. All the girls want me. I got the money. I got the lifestyle. I got the car. But, like, there's nothing more.
Wow, yeah,
than
big
there.
difference. Yeah.
So that's why when I was telling you, like, for me, like, of course I want to look good. Ego's important, but I love that, like, I hold myself accountable to, like, be this disciplined and to be this strong and to be able to show up in the world, like, confident and inspirational to other people, and, like, knowing that the gym is a great outlet, mental health, to de-stress, to feel good about yourself, to be proud, to have a goal, to always be achieving and enjoy the journey and make the mistakes and get back up. Like, it's more profound.
It's like you said, does it come from a place of lack or does it a place of love? Like, it makes the world of a difference.
So, surface level, oh, he got it. He the baba. He making the money. He got the nice car. He got the body. You know, like, he takes care of himself. But little did I know that that's where it all ended. Like, I remember my dad, one of the first things he told me, he was like, un hombre así, solo eso es lo que es. And I was like, you don't know nothing, Dad. Like, stop trying to control my life. Went against what everybody told me. And, like, it was like that passion. Like, there's passion. Don't get me wrong. That passion can be toxic as fuck. Like, bro, you ain't never felt so alive, but I promise you, you're going to feel dead afterwards, too. Like, what do you want? Do you want peace or do you want distraction? Do you want that temporary high or do you want, like, a lifelong love?
That's powerful.
And that's what now I realize, I'm like, that's what the fuck I want. And I'm not for everybody. And it's okay. I'm loud. I'm colorful. I'm hardworking. I like to live life, like, every moment. I want to make experiences. I like to work hard and be proud of my accomplishments. I want to reach new levels. I want to enlighten people. I want to help people. I want to inspire people. There's a lot I want to do. And I need to be with somebody that has that mindset, because if not, everything else is fucking dull to me.
Yeah.
Like, dull. And not in a... I don't mean it bad towards anybody else. I just hope, like, you find your light and you find the reason why you should... Your purpose and...
What sparks you up.
Yes.
And you like, what sparks you up, you deserve someone who sees that, you know?
Sees it, can add to it, resonates, don't want to change you, wants to grow from you, wants to elevate you. And that goes in both ways. And then... So one of the reasons why I, like, what the original question was, like, a big thing that made me, like, realize about myself was when I was like, I am closing this chapter. I'm done fucking reading this book. Because all that happens is I keep getting hurt. I keep giving and giving and giving. And I hear it from everybody. You're so nice. You're so amazing. Thank you for doing that. He must be so lucky. He must be so happy. And I'm like, that's not what's going on in the house.
Wow.
And, like, his mom always used to say, solo la cuchara sabe lo que está dentro de la olla. Because from outside, it looks beautiful, it looks great, it looks this, that, and the other. But, like, my needs aren't being met.
That's a good expression.
And I'm giving and I don't got no more to give. Because I'm not being poured into. You think that paying for some of the mortgage is a big deal? Good job for you, Poppy. The fuck? You got to be living somewhere where I'm with you or where I'm not. Yeah. But with me... We bought a house in a nice community, in an HOA community. Nothing to my not HOA communities, but, like, it's different. It's a next step.
Yeah, that was a big deal for you. And I mean, it is to most people to, like, move in that direction where, I mean, off camera, we were talking about, like, being in your feminine and your masculine.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like from what you've been saying, like, that relationship really made you live in your masculine versus letting you flow and feel taken care of, or feel like you didn't always have to be on the lookout for making decisions and taking care of you guys, you know? Like, you were really just, like we said, even before in the interview, like, you learning to choose yourself, you know?
You have to. And for so many years, we don't, and not knowing it. Like, there's a balance. And again, soul and ego. It's not like somebody invited me. No, I'm not going because I don't feel like it. Like, hey, I can't this weekend. Let's try this date or this date. Let me know which one. I'm totally down. Because that day, you needed to go home and listen to music and smoke something and be with your energy. Because you didn't have the energy to give out that day. Mm-hmm. You needed to choose yourself, because if you went, you would be in a bad mood. They would give you drinks, let's say, like, oh, come on, let's have fun. The next day you start sluggish. Like, you have to choose you.
Yeah.
You can still have fun. It's not that you won't, and you're gonna be happy when you ended up actually going with your friends. But maybe it was more beneficial in that moment for you to just pick me, and like, I need this time to regroup. I'll come better tomorrow or next week. Or like in the relationship, like, it's no longer fulfilling me. Like, if I've expressed my needs and I'm being either shut off or ignored or this, that, and the other, maybe I'm gonna try again. Maybe I'm gonna try one more time. And obviously it depends on the problem, what's the situation. But like, that's your partner. Like, you need to want to find a solution, because if not, what the fuck are we doing? Mm-hmm. Not just, oh, I'm nagging. Your woman is hurt. She's needing something. You don't care to find out what it is. You rather just, whatever. And then God forbid something happens tomorrow and like, that was your last conversation. Like, don't you wish you would have, like, I don't understand. Tell me where you're coming from.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant. And a lot of times with guys, they don't mean what they do. They don't mean it in that bad way, but we as women are like too smart sometimes. And like, we come up with this, like, this story to like their action, when simply era como que no pensó el pendejo.
Yeah.
And it wasn't from bad.
Honestly, though, what it is, male or female, I feel like in any relationship, not always romantic, like, I think it's really hard for people to put themselves, not everyone, but most people, it's hard to put themselves in a space to be vulnerable. And so you are like usually, ready to defend yourself, or, just be on the prowl versus like.
Because you don't really know yourself.
Right.
Because you have to defend yourself. Mm-hmm. Because confidence is quiet. Because love is quiet. Because I wouldn't mean to do this to you. So you would know. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, you don't even know yourself where it's coming from when you say things sometimes when you're in that position. Wow, that's heavy.
And then that's really sad. Really, really sad, which brings us now to the psychedelics, is that very clear, like, best decision of my life. It had to happen. There was no other way. My heart is too big. Like,
the breakup.
I had to do it that way. No contact, move, whatever. But at the same time, like, for real, it was like my best friend was just gone. Like, one day to the fucking next.
Yeah.
No contact ever again. But I'm like, damn, like, if we would have had the chance to like do a therapy with the psychedelics, because I had asked him for therapy, but he ignored me. But now that I know how this can give you like a new level of awareness, like, it can make you see a situation differently. Like, you have your masculine brain, you have your feminine brain, you have your emotional, you have your logical, and there's all these other ones that I am not saying them because I don't really know how to say them right now. So what psychedelics does is that it's like an orchestra, and it connects all of them together to be able to process the message. When we're living in fear, when we're living in stress, we're on our defense. So we're ready to be triggered, and we're ready to spit out, like, I'm not going to let you hurt me. So I'm going to say this back. And not really saying like, okay, long term, this can hurt her feelings. It already came out my mouth.
Right, like thinking. Just to clarify, because that was a very swift transition, I know sometimes we judge a book by its cover, and Sam is the girl who always looks like a Barbie. She hit in the gym every day. She's working every day at her own business. She started I don't know if you consider that a nonprofit or a donation organization. Like, she's doing all the things. So if you don't know her well enough, you might not pin her as a girl who would try and love psychedelics. But here we are. She's tried it, and I love asking her about all of her experiences with it. So that's what we're getting into now.
That's the topic. So, in the sense of what we were just talking about, imagine like partners that like really loved each other, like for real, and like something happened, they split up, like she always has to live with that pain of like, it just didn't work out, like he wasn't what I needed, or he didn't want to listen to me, or he didn't want to dig that deep into my emotions to see how it is that it affected me versus him. Like, I think about him sometimes in the sense of like, this girl really just spent 6 years with me and walked out of my life. Like, the family time we had to, all the same ways that I'm feeling, he must have had to be feeling.
Right.
But he, in that sense, like, whatever, chose to get under somebody else. And it's like, it just like puts everything under a rug, which is how the relationship was on his side. And like, estás entretenido con otra cosa, and like, life is all great and better and whatever, right? Versus if everybody would have taken the time to pause and like, damn, where were my faults? What did you need more of? What did you need less of? How could have I showed up better for you? When you're somebody that like really loves somebody, I feel like you would want to go to that type of therapy and you would want to get that deeper understanding. But there's this quote that says, the best thing I can do for you is become the best version of me, or the best thing I could do for you is know more about me. Like,
agreed.
Right now, bro, I'm just like, the right person's gonna come when he gonna come. I am so into this self-development, this different mindset that like I was already naturally on a path of, but this has like amplified it with the spirituality, with the comfort and the reassurance of like, you got this, like you're guided, like there's no fucking mistake, like you're not gonna get out of here alive, like just do what the fuck you want to do, be happy.
Do you want to talk about what psychedelic you tried?
The first one I tried was DMT.
Okay.
Assisted, yeah. Because I don't know how to light things up to smoke. Bro, I tried by myself, I could not.
I love that you're thinking of the like physical part of it. I meant more assisted because someone's there to guide you in case you have questions.
I think both.
I don't deal with the lighter, so I needed someone in the room.
So I had to like detox for it. No caffeine, the least processed foods, no eating that day. I went early in the morning. It's like an instant thing. It takes like 30 seconds for you to feel it. You do like some breath work. Prior to doing it, they teach you how to inhale it, how to hold it, and then you go. My first trip was, I just started seeing sacred geometry. So you see like if you could, kind of like a kaleidoscope, I think. Like, It's just like all the colors are merging and like in the most beautiful way. They're just like displaying a show for you. Like, and everything is so geometrically symmetrical. Like, it's amazing. There's no mistake anywhere, no matter where you look. Like, it's all perfect. Kind of like in nature, whatever, everything is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It was like this feeling of complete and total comfort, love, support, guidance. I felt like a warm light. Like, the only way I could explain it is like when you're on the beach, like on the perfect morning at the beach, and like the sun is just hitting every single part of you. Like, that's what it felt like. And I didn't hear a voice, but like I felt the voice like a woman. Like, you made it home. Like, you're on the right path. Like, welcome back to yourself.
Wow.
Like, you're on your right journey, exactly where you need to be. And when I had gone to that chakra therapy, we had written a letter to our future selves, and one of the things was like, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Like, that's what I wrote to my future self, and then I went to the DMT thing, and that's what I heard in the message. So I came down, and like I was just explaining to her what I saw, and then I was like, hey, I want more. And she's like, you want more? I was like, yeah, I want more.
How long would you say that lasted?
Had to be max 15 minutes.
Okay.
But like, it feels so fast.
When you're coming down from it, is it very obvious that you're not on it anymore? Like, are you just like, okay, it's done?
When you open your eyes,
because your eyes are closed.
Yes,
the entire time. Okay.
I do it with my eyes closed.
Okay.
So you can change your inner reality or your outer reality.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So like, I was like, let me tell you something. Like, I'm fine with my outer reality. Like, I want to change it from in here to what I really want.
So then you wanted to do it again?
I wanted to do it again. At first, like, I would start seeing things, and like you would see it in my body language, and I'd be like smiling and laughing or whatever.
Wow.
And then I would want to make sense of what I'm seeing, and I would bring myself down. And she's like, listen, your brain has never seen this before. Don't be upset. Don't be frustrated. Just try again and surrender to the experience. Like, don't try to make something out of everything you see. But how do you
What a lesson in itself, though.
Exactly. Enjoy the beauty. Stop trying to break it down. I'm giving you this moment. Stop trying to decipher it. Just enjoy and be happy and go with the flow and feel the love.
Yeah, is what it is. Let it be.
But until you feel it and you like see it in there, you're just like, it all makes sense, and then you integrate it into your life.
So that was my next question. I don't know if this, if I've asked you this before, but like it all sounds like it's clearly a hallucinogenic, right? Mm-hmm. So beautiful images, you see, you know, otherworldly things, but do you feel like you get lessons out of it? Does it help you process your life? Is it just an experience for, I don't want to call it recreational, but is it just like to experience beauty in another way? Like what do you really,
enlightenment.
you feel like you get enlightenment? Okay.
You process things that have happened in your life. You're able to see problems differently as they come. There's this thing, so I'm like making my whole entire thing for like when my page goes live, and I'm like making all my posts and all that.
Stay tuned.
Yes. So I post like some quotes on there, and there was one that it was saying that psychedelics are a surfboard.
Okay.
For you to navigate life's emotions. And you're able to like come from a more centered place than to just react and be triggered. Psychedelics help you have more emotional awareness. They help you process emotions. They give you an enhanced connection to the supernatural. They give you that opportunity, that raw, authentic, for real, don't bullshit yourself, self-reflection and growth. You're able to see like, damn, I held myself back there, or like, damn, look where you came from.
Yeah.
They give you all that.
And I know we wanted to talk about this. First of all, it's very cool and interesting, but also one of the bigger things was that it's crazy what a bad rep, you know, psychedelics get. And, you know, they're just, yes, I think legally or like scientifically it's considered a drug, and, you know, drug alone, that word just has a bad rep. And I'm not here to condone it or like say that it's bad. I just think it's all, I'm coming at it with like a very open heart, very interesting. I think there's always something to learn from it. And so I'm not trying to say like, yo, everyone go to DMT, you got 15% off after this. Like that's not what this is for.
But we're going to have something like that in the future, but not that.
I just think it's important to talk about it because like, again, like I said, like people would never pin you as that girl to do it, I'm sure, you know? And here it is helping you live your life. I'm sure there's a lens where people do it recreationally. Like I remember when Molly first became popular, we might have been actually just starting at Russo's, and it's an old drug. Like it actually used to be a drug that was used in couples therapy because it boosts your serotonin. And here kids were having it at raves, and like I'm sure they're having a great time at their raves, but they're not using it to the level that it can be used for like you're saying, like enlightenment, to process your emotions, to really evaluate your life. And I think it's a big difference when you're doing something recreationally or when you're using it with intention, which is like anything else in life. When you come at something from a place of love and with intention, it can really serve its purpose in you. So that's why I'm not fully against it. I personally have never tried DMT. You've made me want to try it, but I still think I need to like get to a level where I know I'd be like not fearful of it. You know what I mean? Like we talked about this where like if you go at it fearfully, then like you probably won't get the experience that you could like beneficially.
You said a lot, and I don't want to forget anything. So intentionally, again, ego, soul, those kids don't know any better. They just, oh, we're gonna have fun, whatever. But like if it's somebody that's like, my partner and I are hurting and I don't want this to disappear, I want us to try and work through this.
Yeah,
that's such a powerful intention in a safe setting.
Right.
And that's the whole point about it. When you don't do things with intention, that's when they become dangerous. That's when they become abused. That's when they become mainstream. That's when it just becomes a fad. So psychedelics like lets you see things as they're happening, as they've already happened, so you can go back and process it. It like helps to show you that like you're the one limiting yourself.
It sounds like it gives you a zoomed out perspective of your life. Because sometimes we're so in it that like all you see is what you can see. And so it sounds from what you're explaining as if psychedelics helps you zoom out and see what you think is limiting you and then what's actually limiting you, and like, oh, it's just you, you know, just like big picture.
It creates something called neuroplasticity. So neuroplasticity is when we learn things. It's like when a kid's in school and learning how to write cursive. It's like putting a puzzle together. It's part of it. You're learning how to do new things. So this allows for your brain to think of things differently instead of just shutting it off. even if you don't agree with it right now. Pero ya sembró la semilla. And maybe you'll think about it a little bit more the next day or the next day. It changes, it creates neurogenesis, so new neurons growing, and like a big and why I'm telling you like this is so deep, like because I'm only knowing like at the moment I only know some branches of it. So what's interesting is that psilocybin is what's in the mushrooms, and there's a synthesized version that is the one that I have been using for therapy to give to people. It's easier to dose, it's easier to just handle it all versus like going to go buy mushrooms from somebody and trying them and finding what kind they are and weighing them out, makes it simpler, but it does the same thing. Psilocybin, once it's ingested in your gut, turns to psilocin, turns to something else. So that's why it's like really important to like, I've wasted medicine in the past because through my research, you're not supposed to eat when you take it. You're not supposed to eat for 4 hours at least,
prior
minimum, so that it can do its full effect and connect to everything, because your gut helps to turn it to the other chemical.
Wow.
So you know how many times I ate and then ate it and nothing happened?
Right, of course. That makes sense. Now that you say it that way, yeah.
So psilocybin's chemical compound is almost identical to serotonin. Like almost identical. Like chemically, scientifically. Like, and that's what I loved about doing this, and what I'm bringing with my brand is like, I believe the spiritual aspect, I fuck with it 100%. But my masculine logical self, I want to know the facts.
Yes, yes.
I don't want to bring this information out to people wrong. I don't want to be a person that can help people facilitate these things and then not be prepared and have a negative experience with it and possibly get it in trouble again and possibly get it taken away, when it could help so many people that have PTSD, depression, OCD problems, chronic depression, like Alzheimer's.
I think if I try psychedelics, I would try psilocybin first.
Yes.
Because I feel like there are talk therapists in South Florida that use that they offer that part of their therapy. So I feel like that'd be probably the easiest way, because as long as I'm talking and someone's asking me questions, I probably wouldn't be as in my head of like, oh my God, is it kicking in yet? Or like, what's happening, you know?
Well, that's a good option. And it depends on the kind of person you are. Are you looking for small changes in the positive direction, or are you looking for like a real wake up? That's what I'm going to offer, both, but it depends on you.
Yeah.
And you have to make that decision. So the serotonin 2A receptors are what is like engaged when you take the psilocybin, and those like connect better to other of those receptors, and they help you process things better. So for example, maybe 10 years ago, and my mom would have said like, oh, okay, you always want to be out late and this, that, and the other, and you should be doing more. At that age, I would have been like so frustrated, like I'm trying to do everything right.
Yeah.
Nothing seems good enough for you. You're just trying to control my life, like whatever, right? So then now, if she were to say the same thing to me now, I'd know not to respond. I'd be like, Mom is just being my mom. She's just being protective. She's just scared of the outside world. It's not something personal towards me. I'm lucky that I have her still to call me and tell me these things.
Wow.
I hope to be that kind of mom one day.
Yeah.
So it like gives you left and right, and like you can appreciate things more. You can smell the roses. You can look back at that really big, deep thing and be like, I learned what I needed to learn. I take this knowledge. I release you. I don't wish you any bad. And I'm ready to continue building my life in a more positive way. It allows that. It allows for your brain, all these different parts to talk together while it's processing something. I'm not just coming from, I'm hurt because you lied to me before. I'm not just coming because I'm scared because I'm insecure about myself. I'm not just coming at you like, oh, I want to tell you what to do. It's like, breathe. Think about what's saying. Don't just feel it. And then respond. And that's such power. And that's such freedom. I think it's amazing. Like, I don't know. I feel so...
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I feel so like purposeful with it. Like, my business, I love my business. I thrived in it. I learned from a young age what to do, and I used it to my benefit. But now I'm like, I can start my next business, one of my next businesses, like more soul centered. Like what you do matters, like who you talk to, whatever your message is, fight for it and say it. And I feel like I have so much like purpose and way more orientation in my life.
Yeah, but it's just a big deal, the conversations you have and like what you choose to share to the world, because you can either see it as like airing out your dirty laundry, or like my story is meant to impact someone else's story and help them get through something or like achieve something that they've been putting on the back burner.
Yep.
So I'm really glad you did this.
Thank you. It's vulnerability, it's community, it's evolving, and it's really beautiful, like, because not everybody awakens. People are just in day to day, whatever. But it's like when you can find beauty in the pain, and like now you're better equipped to take on your life. Like I'm just like now in a flow. I've like learned my lessons. There's still gonna be lessons to learn, but like I know how to voyage through life way better. And I've always had a good direction, but now I'm like, now it's just easy. Now life is like beautiful. Like everything is coming to me at the right time. I see my friends thriving. I see my business thriving. I see my friends' families growing. Like it's such a beautiful place, and only those people are supposed to be there. Maybe there was time that we didn't talk as much, but we still kind of kept tabs on each other as best we could, and we're not mad about it. It's like everyone is going through their own life and their own things, but it's so cool that we chose to like attract ourselves again. You know, like
Because life almost leads you that way, you know? I don't know how to explain it, but like I don't know why we connected again. Probably because of kickball. Like why did you even invite me to kickball? I don't know what happened that we like that now. Okay, like last time we were like talking all the time was probably closer to when we were working at the restaurant.
yeah,
And then now that we're like talking more again, it's like so much time has passed and we've been on different journeys, but that got us to similar places where we like talking about the same things again. You know what I mean? And so it's like life just takes you there.
and I think it's like what it says, that your vibe attracts your tribe. That when you chase your soul and your passions, those are the same people that are going to be attracted to you. And like the more you find yourself, the more you find your people. Like that's all the messages that has been happening in our lives.
It's so true. I've learned that over and over again. And I think that's like one of my recurring lessons in life that I have to like get with. Where it's like the more you're yourself, the more that the right people are going to come into your life. Because you try to pretend to be somebody you're not to like fit in or something, and you're just going to attract people who are doing the same thing. And who wants that? You know?
And you don't even like know it. And again, that's like the thing I said of like, if you didn't want to go out that day, don't go. Fill your cup.
Yeah.
And then when you're your most you, those people will come. You will allow that opportunity to happen. You won't align if you're not doing what you really, 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 really want to do. Yeah, you could have like a pretty okay life, and Bob and Mary get together and they got a nice little house, and you know, you guys pick up truck and they got 2 or 3 kids, but like sometimes she still thinks about what if, and sometimes so does he if he would have chased his goal and his dreams and his passions.
And that's most of people, I think, in the world we live in today.
Yeah.
I think that's a great place to wrap up. Is there anything that you want to say before we go?
Choose to see everything as a lesson. You can either continue to repeat or you can evolve. I think one of the most important things that a human should do, I told you this the other day, is Rose, to be on that endless chase of rate of self-evolution. Rose, it's on you to become your highest you. It's not on anybody else. It's not whatever has happened to you. Fight for that light and be yourself and just do good. That's literally all the world needs. Do good, love people, be yourself. That would solve so many problems.
Gold. I love you.
That was so cute.
That was awesome.